Wassup Yotube, PokePrimer here, proud and ready to deliver you our Week 2 Team Builder here in the UPL. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you did hear me say Week 2. Now, the reason I'm saying Week 2 is because our Week 1 opponent was the other person who did not draft yet. And he said he was very, very busy, so he conceded the forfeit to us. So we got a forfeit for Week 1, which kind of blows. I hate forfeits. You guys know how much I hate forfeits. I think they're the biggest load of horse shit ever in leagues. I think they're so agitating. But he took the forfeit against us, so fuck us, right? But yeah, we didn't get to battle Week 1. It kind of sucks. So none of our Mons are in the MVP race, which kind of blows, because I really want some of my guys to get MVP, but it just wasn't happening Week 1. But Week 2 is here, and we are taking on Jack. That's his name, Jack. I don't think he has a team name, and it's okay. But we're taking on Jack, and he has a very, very terrifying team. He is rocking the Mega Gardevoir, Latias, Rotom Wash, Tangrowth, Nidoking, Bronzong, Miltank, Thundurus Incarnate, Sawk, Weezing, and Entei. Now, let me just go over this quickly for y'all. Does he have a Fairy Dragon Steel Core? Mega Gardevoir, Latias, and Bronzong. That's terrifying. Even though all three of them are Psychic types, that's still kind of scary. Does he have a bomb-ass Firewater Grass Core? Rotom Wash, Tangrowth, and Entei. You tell me. Please explain to me how the hell this man was able to get this power. How people allowed this to happen. I mean, he's got the Prankster power of Thundurus Incarnate. He's got the bulk in Weezing, Bronzong, Miltank. He's got Tangrowth. He's got the wall-breaking potential of Mega Gardevoir and Nidoking and Entei. It's crazy, man. This guy's got a hell of a team. But I honestly think that with this squad that I've built, we can tear through his team fairly easily. One quick thing I noticed about his team, the only form of hazard removal that he has is his Latias. So it's most likely gonna have to be running Defog, which is kind of cool in my opinion, because I don't know, I just think it's kind of interesting, kind of neat that he only has one hazard remover, so that means that some hazards might have to be brought in this matchup. But we'll get into that when we get into that. But yeah, without further ado, guys, let's talk about our team. The first mon that we're going to be bringing is Graceffa, our Mega Diancie. Graceffa's here, rocking that Magic Bounce ability, which is pretty dope. Running a Hasty Nature this week, because I do need a little bit more special bulk, just for the simple fact of there's a bunch of things on the team, you know, Tangrowth, Nidoking, that we might want to try to live a hit from, maybe the Thundurus as well. We'd like to try to live a hit from or something. It'd be kind of cool if we could live the hit and then hit them back. The Latias especially, we're running max speed because by running max speed it allows us to speed tie with the Latias. Again, I don't see it being scarfed, so we do still have the chance to win the speed tie and then hit that thing with a Moonblast. Moonblast, actually, with this spread, 224 is the maximum that I need for my special attack, because with Moonblast at 224, it's the highest damage roll we get. I think by maxing it out anymore, it just increases the min roll by 0.4. But currently, it's like a 90.5 to 113%, or 106.5%, something like that, roll to kill with Moonblast on Latias. It does a crazy amount of damage. If we get rocks up, by the way, we do have rocks on Mega Diancie. If we get rocks up, Moonblast 100% kills Latias every single time, which is great. We have the Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm is very, very important in this matchup, just because getting up that +1 defense would be great. That's why we're running a mixed nature. Just a little bit of attack investment. Doesn't really help us too much, but it will still KO the Thundurus and will do massive, massive damage to the Entei. And lastly, we are running the Psychic on here for the Weezing and the Nidoking. Weezing especially, because Weezing is definite. Switch into Mega Diancie, 100%. So having that psychic there allows us to be able to hit that wheezing if it tries to switch in on us. Personally, I see the Bronzong being a switch in as well. That's why we do have the Stealth Rocks on this thing. I feel like we can freely go for Stealth Rocks in a lot of situations where they might think that they can switch something in to eat a hit, and we can get free rocks up, which would be great. So that's kind of the plan with Mega Diancie. Hopefully it'll work out. If we can get those rocks up and keep them up, it could be really, really helpful for us in the matchup. Thundurus and Entei, which are very, very big threats to the team. They will be taking 25% on entry due to those rocks, and that adds up really, really fast. So that's going to be our Mega Diancie. The next one, and this is the one that I put the most thought into, is one of our potential cleanup mons at the end of the game, and that is the Human Scolipede here. Obviously I want to make him shiny because the Human Scolipede needs to be shiny because he looks dope as shit. We were giving him a Life Orb with the Speed Boost ability. Protect, Mega Horn, Earthquake, and Poison Jab. Protect is so we can get that speed boost up. Now, with the speed investment, okay, we put 156 speed. This puts at 299, which allows us to outspeed the Rotom Wash by 1 point. Now, again, I put a lot of thought into this, and there's a lot of reasoning behind this specific speed stat. Now, if I had gone maximum speed, I would outspeed the Thundurus Incarnate 100% of the time. I would outspeed the entire team, and then obviously at +1, I would still outspeed the entire team. However, I would have to go Jolly for that, and I don't want to do that. I wanted to be able to hit as hard as possible. Now, I really thought about it, and outspeeding Thundurus, not really a big deal, because Thundurus is packing things like Thunder Wave, and it's kind of annoying. So I'm going to have to kill that with other things, but Thunder Wave's kind of annoying and kind of a problem. So even if I did outspeed it, it doesn't matter. Prankster Thunder Wave is going to go off and paralyze my Scolipede, and I don't have clerical support this week. I don't even think I have cleric support on my team. So that's kind of like a bad thing. Like speed boost mon that's paralyzed, that's kind of useless. So basically have to avoid that. Outspeeding Latias, again, not necessary, because one, after a speed boost I can outspeed it anyway, and I don't see it being scarfed. Now, if I could see a potential of being scarfed, if there was other forms of hazard removal, I would maybe have decided that going the Jolly route and outspeeding the Latias at least would be a good idea, but I don't have to do that, because with it being its only form of hazard removal, almost has to run Defog on this thing if he wants to keep hazards off the field. If he's okay with the hazards going up, then by all means, let the hazards go up. I don't care. I will put all the hazards I want to on your side of the field. Please allow me to do that. But if he doesn't, then by all means, I will absolutely. And if he does, then I will take advantage of that. So I don't need to outspeed that. Mega Gardevoir can't be scarfed, so I don't have to worry about outspeeding that. Meltank is more of a bulky mon, so I don't really need to worry about outspeeding that, because I don't see either him running Scarf Meltank or running like max speed Meltank or anything like that. I expect a bulkier set if he brings it. The only one that I'm worried about being scarfed is Entei. If Entei could be scarfed, but for best wall breaking potential, I do honestly just see Bandit Entei coming with Sacred Fire, Extreme Speed, stuff like that. That's what I honestly see coming. So, in the best possible scenario, the most speed that I need is enough to outspeed Rotom, because the potential of a Choice Scarf Rotom is a thing, and I don't like the idea of that. I like being able to outspeed it, just for shits and giggles. We are running Mega Horn. Mega Horn will tear through things with the Adamant Nature. Mega Horn 2-hit KOs, a specially defensive Bronzong 100% of the time. Very, very close to a 3-hit KO. Very, very close to a 2-hit KO on physically defensive Bronzong. I'm very, very positive. Actually, I'm going to do that calc live real quick. Scolipede, Bronzong, 2, and let's go Impish. Yeah, Megahorn. Megahorn does 44.9 to 52.9%, so it's a guaranteed 3 KO even after Leftovers recovery, which is great. And Bronzong, honestly, I don't think Bronzong can't do too much to us, so that's kind of cool. So we have the Megahorn for that. The Megahorn will also Oko the Latias, Oko the Mega Gardevoir. Pretty sure it's a 2 KO or Oko on the Tangrowth. Let me double check that one. Tangrowth. Yeah, it's a 2 KO on the Tangrowth. No matter what, thing just gets absolutely blown back. Oh my god, that's insane. It's so bulky, but gets so destroyed. Megahorn just tears through Jack's team very, very nicely. We have the Earthquake for the things that Megahorn doesn't tear through, such as the Entei and the Nidoking. Nidoking can take a hit. And we have the Poison Jab, just as another way of hitting the Gardevoir. It is super effective. And then Poison Jab hits some of the things that resist the Megahorn. Now, does Weezing switch in immediately to this thing every single time? Yes, that's fine. I will make sure that Weezing is dead before Scolipede even hits the field, so that it's not even an issue. That's the goal. If Weezing comes, Weezing dies before Scolipede even gets sent out. Because honestly though, if Weezing is gone, Scolipede pretty much just goes ahead and can clean up the match. Essentially, not too many things appreciate any hits from Scolipede. Scolipede pretty much just shits on all their lives. So that's kind of the goal here with Scolipede. Let the team get whittled down a little bit, and then bring Scolipede in and just tear down Jack's team. That's honestly the plan. Next up, we need a little bit of bulk, so we decided to go with Meta Ridley, the Skarmory, holding the Leftovers with the Sturdy ability, just in case of those scenarios. Running a fully physically defensive Impish set. Very, very standard. We're running Spikes. Spikes, again, since there's only one form of hazard removal and we have ways of taking care of it, the Spikes are there for the purpose of setting them up and fucking up Jack's team. Even though there's a couple of levitators and shit, the ones that aren't levitating are not going to appreciate it. Nidoking, Mega Gardevoir, all those these mons are not going to like it. If Bronzong is heat proof as well, it'll take a large amount of damage from the Spikes. We have the Roost to keep our HP up. We have the Iron Head kind of for the Mega Gardevoir, but I honestly, the more I look at it, I don't think we really need the Iron Head, because it's not gonna. Honestly, I just don't see Mega Gardevoir staying in on us. I don't know. Unless the Mega Gardevoir is HP Fire, I don't see it really staying in on Skarmory. Maybe it'll have HP Fire, I don't know. Iron Head's there just because it's stab and it does damage. I don't want to lose HP from Brave Bird. That's essentially my thought process there as well. And the Toxic is there for things that want to try to switch into us. I mean, the Weezing's an okay switch in. The Bronzong's a switch in, but and then those things aren't affected by Toxic. But things like the Rotom could be a switch in. Latias could try to switch in. A couple of Mons could try to switch in, but if they get Toxic, they get Toxic. It's gonna be funny. I like the Toxic things. One thing to note though, he does bring Banded Entei. I cannot keep Meta Ridley in on Banded Entei. It's very, 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 very imperative that I figure out if it's banded or not early on in the matchup, because if it is, then I know that Meta Ridley cannot stand on it, because a Flare Blitz Okos and a Sacred Fire does pretty close to it. This is like 82 to 95%, which is crazy. But yeah, Meta Ridley is here to take some hits, set some spikes up, and just do what Skarmories do and be annoying. The next mon is our secondary sweeper, a very potent sweeper who can do a lot in this matchup. And it's Curtis Haxel, the Haxorus. Haxorus is one of the most insane crazy mons I've ever seen. We are running max attack. We're running 88 HP which gives us a nice odd number. And we're running just enough speed, again, to outspeed the Rotom Wash. Because, again, like I said before, I honestly do not see any scenario at all where I would need any more speed than that. If I can get to +1 with the Dragon Dance, because we are packing Dragon Dance, if I get to +1, we will pretty much outspeed the whole team. And we 1 or 2 shot with everything. Dragon Claw. Let's just scroll through the team real quick. And now this is, mind you, with Mold Breaker. Dragon Claw, Oko's Latias. Poison Jab, Oko's Mega Gardevoir. Earthquake. And I'm gonna pull up some of these calcs. I'm just gonna Haxorus. Haxorus Dragon Dance set standard. Rotom Wash. Physically defensive. Fully physically defensive. Earthquake, 2-hit KO. Okay? Okay, keep that one in mind. Tangrowth. Now, okay, that's if we're at +1. Earthquake, Oko's physically defensive Rotom Wash. Tangrowth. Poison Jab. Okay, so Poison Jab doesn't do shit. Let's go to Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw has a chance to... Dragon Claw 3 KO. So, that's Poison Tail, not Poison Jab. Poison Jab. Poison Jab 2 KOs after leftovers. So that's not a switch in anymore. Nidoking. Earthquake. Okos. Bronzong. Fully physically defensive Bronzong. Let's just do that. Boom. Give it that 252. Give it that Impish. Earthquake. 89 to 105. That's crazy. That's insane. That's actually insane. Bronzong gets blown back. Miltank. Dragon Claw, 2-hit KOs. Great chance to 2-hit KO. Thunderous. Oko'd by Dragon Claw. Sock. Oko'd by Dragon Claw. Or Earthquake. Wheezing. One of the most physically defensive mons in the entire game. Almost Oko'd by Earthquake. Entei. Oko'd by Earthquake. Literally, I get a Dragon Dance up, and this thing basically Oko's or 2-hit KOs the entire team. You just saw it right there. The calcs are there with a Life Orb. Life Orb, Mold Breaker, Jolly Nature. This thing Oko's the entirety of Jack's draft. It's absolutely ludicrous. I actually kind of want to see, can I run Adamant? Just out of curiosity. No, it's just a little shy. Okay. If I could run Adamant, that would have been insane, but that's fine. We don't need Adamant. We're good. But you just see the terror that is Haxorus. One Dragon Dance, and it's essentially game over. The switch-ins aren't there. The switch-ins don't exist. So Haxorus is going to absolutely shit all over Jack's team if I can get a Dragon Dance up. And there's a couple scenarios where I can do that very safely, and I plan on taking advantage of all of them. So that is going to be our Haxorus. So at this point, I needed something that could take a special hit. So I was looking through my team, and I decided the best one that I possibly could see is ZZ, our Hitmontop. ZZ is here with the Assault Vest and Intimidate. That combination right there basically makes this thing one of the best walls on our team, because it can take hits on both sides by lowering their attack and also boosting his own special defense with the AV. We were rocking a moveset of Close Combat, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, and Bullet Punch. Max HP, max attack, a little bit of defense investment there. But we got the Close Combat. Close Combat's our main way of handling the Melt Tank. It's a guaranteed 2 KO on the Melt Tank every time. We do plenty more than it can Milk Drink, so if it tries to Milk Drink stall us, that's fine. We will proceed to shit on its life. We have the Rapid Spin. Just in case my opponent does try to set up hazards or something on us, we can Rapid Spin them at some point in the matchup. We have the Earthquake. Earthquake is a safe bet to click in a lot of cases. It'll hit the Entei, it'll hit the Nidoking. It'll also allow us the potential to KO the Mega Gardevoir with our Bullet Punch that we're also packing. Bullet Punch is a way, just in case the Mega Gardevoir comes out, it'll be a quick way to do some big damage to that Mega Gardevoir. And it won't do anything, it'll do like 30 some, it does like 37 or 38 to like 40 something percent, which isn't that great, but it's still, it's decent damage. It's damage that can do the Mega Gardevoir that it couldn't do before, and I will take that. If I see the point in the match where Hitmontop just doesn't have any usage anymore, I will just, Mega Gardevoir comes in, I will just click Bullet Punch and be done with it. Let ZZ Top go down and bring something else in that can handle the Mega Gardevoir more effectively. This thing's going to come in a lot during the matchup. Chase takes so many different hits and really put in some crazy work, in my opinion. Hitmontop has a lot of potential for this matchup. Now, looking at my team, tell me where my switch in to Entei is. Now, before you say anything, tell me where my switch in to Entei is that is okay with taking a burn. That's what I thought. None of them really want to take a burn. There's only one Mon on my entire team, and I was hoping I didn't want to have to bring out this crazy trump card too early in the season. There's one Mon on my entire team that can take a hit from the Entei relatively well, without any real issues, and kind of laugh about it, essentially. That Mon right there. Derp the Quagsire. Derp the Quagsire is going to be running a fully physically defensive Bold Nature set with leftovers, rocking that Water Absorb. This, with the Water Absorb ability, Quagsire is a 100% of the time switch into Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash, unless it's packing HP Grass, can do absolutely nothing to Quagsire. Quagsire literally switches into it 1,000,000,000% of the time. This thing can also switch pretty safely into Thundurus Incarnate and its potential Thunder Waves. And again, it almost has to pack HP Grass, and that's something I could scout for. This thing is just a very good switch. This also switches into Entei beautifully. Even if it burns us, we don't care because we're running more of a special set. So even if it burns us, we have the leftovers, which will be recovering us, basically canceling out the burn damage, and we have the recover, which would also allow us to have our longevity even with the burn constantly ticking us away. Moveset wise, we were packing the Scald for the Entei that we'll be switching into, and the Nidoking. Essentially, if we bring this thing in, we can literally just click Scald. If something tries to switch in, it has the potential to get burned. It has no immunities to it. We are also packing the Ice Beam. Ice Beam is a way of hitting the Latias on switch in. It'll also hit the Tangrowth on switch in. Tangrowth is a very clear switch into this thing. So maybe hitting it with an Ice Beam wouldn't be terrible. It'll also hit the Thundurus as well. So it's definitely something to look at. And the Nidoking too. But I don't see the Nidoking ever switching. I don't see a Nidoking ever switching into a Quagsire. There's 1,000 different reasons why that should never happen. And if it does happen, I'll laugh hysterically. Obviously, we said the recover for longevity purposes. We have the Toxic. Toxic's actually kind of cool, because honestly, if I really look at the situation, Tangrowth will most likely, if Tangrowth comes, Tangrowth will switch into this thing. Every time. Tangrowth will switch into this thing. Honestly, that's my opinion. I think Tangrowth switches in every single time. And what's the number one way to beat a regenerator mon? Put a toxic on it. Toxic will help wear down the Tangrowth every time it comes in, which basically means it won't be able to come in too safely anymore. Because if there's any hits that will bring it below half, then it has to switch immediately back out. So it can't sit on the so it can't just sit on the field and wall things. It's going to have to just 100% be a pivot. It has to be a pivot. Because honestly, it just can't do anything else at that point. You know, like if it gets toxic, it's kind of screwed. So that's the plan. That's the plan. That's going to be the plan with our good friend here, Derp. Derp's going to put in some crazy work, man. I'm really, really excited. Like, beyond excited to get this league really started. Because, I mean, I haven't really... I don't know any of the people in this league at all, so it's going to be very interesting to see how these people battle, see how good everyone is. And I'm just beyond excited for this upcoming match. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and kick some ass here, guys. Yeah, I'm really excited. See you guys in the battle. It'll be coming soon. And until then, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.